it's very important in the United States to have parenting programs and to have parents involved in the education of the child. And many parents come to the PTA, the Parent Teacher Association, and it's to watch their child perform. So they bring them and they put them on a stage, and they're all, dancing or singing or playing an instrument. And then after they perform, then the students go back home with the parents, and the parents talk about what a good job they did, but then they turn on the TV and they watch TV and from 8 until 10 at night, and the parents will have their glass of wine, or they'll have their toddy with their alcohol, and then the student will go into their room and watch their TV or play their Nintendo, or text message someone, or watch a video on their computer. But there's no sense of interaction and appreciation and sharing of inner space. I hate to be saying these things that are constantly going on in the West, because it sounds like it's a bad situation and that it's certainly in somewhat of a crisis, but this is really what's happening. There's no interaction, there's no sense of connection between the parent and the child. It's all the child going into their room and the parent doing their own thing, and never the two coming together, except for perhaps the parent observing the child on the stage. So what's happening in the Gurukul?
Yeah, it's again very different, where we have in 4 years we have never conducted parenting workshops, never. And it's so amazing. We did a survey on what is the most big problem the parents are facing in the Gurukul here, and we found out brushing the teeth was the most biggest problem. And we were like, wow, we'll work on that. But why I'm saying is, the main thing is the kids are having so much fun and so much of love here, they just go home and overflow that. Like, for example, there was a parent from work, and she was like in full of tension and stressed out, and she just wanted to just lie down and just go wash her face. And while washing her face, the kid, 6-year-old, and he's saying, "Mama, take love and wash your face and see how you feel." The mom like, "What happened now?" And what is the kid of 6-year-old telling mom what we can do to just switch? And she was so happy. The other day she came running to the school and she said, "You know what my kid said? Usually he's angry and this is what, and within a month of in your school, he's just talking about overflowing love." And where did it come from? What do you teach? We said we are teaching only about love, but washing the face with love is just his spontaneous answer. Once you open the box and they want to overflow, the kid has such his joy. They want to just love and be caring and giving and all that. So once you open the dimension of the kid, they see a positive output from the parent, so they want to do more. We had a kid of ADHD, and he's about 12 years, and this happened within 3 months of his stay in Parent Choice. He has never, whatever given to him, he'll just take it and eat it. And he has no idea of the parents need to have it and all that. And this kid, when there was a 2 cup of drink, chocolate milk, and he just said, "One is for me, one should be for you. Why don't you take it?" And mom was so amazed, which has not happened in 12 years of his life, because there was absolutely no idea given to him. This is the first time he's getting an idea that he can share the love. So once the kids are given the dimension that they can share and they experience with their parents, they are like so different. We had 2 parents coming and telling us they stopped abusing the kids, because the kids went home when the parents were abusing. They just sat and listened to the parent and said, "Daddy, instead of getting so upset and spoiling your inner space, you could have just told me how to do it and I will just follow it." And immediately the father went back and said, "What? Usually the kid's supposed to cry, throw tantrum and say, 'No, I won't do it.' But what is happening to my child?" And she's so beautiful and waiting for the daddy to cool down and slowly telling the daddy what he should do. In that sense, the father came running and told us, "We will never shout or hit our kid." So what is happening? Actually, we are sowing the seed in the children and taking care of the parents. So again, the children are taking care of the teachers, they are taking care of the parents themselves. And one of the parents was struggling with their office work. This was a very beautiful one thing. So this person was struggling with all the office work, and he was trying to get, and he was telling his wife, I have to finish all these accounts and give it tomorrow, but nothing is tallying and all these things. So the kid says, okay daddy, you can just close your eyes, just visualize the numbers are tallying, and you will see it tally, daddy. And this is about a 5-year-old kid. And if a 5-year-old kid can understand about visualization and where to use it, the adults can just pick it up and understand there is a different dimension which we need to live in. Our whole dimension where we are living is the wrong thing. So the kids are the best teachers, and they go and adapt and modify the parents themselves, and that comes back as a peaceful family back to the school, and they are more happy kids, more happy parents and more happy kids. Problem solved.
So you talk about a problem solved, and in the United States, where we have the public school system, the solution seems to never come about because the parent has a problem with the child, and the way that the problem is presented is on the problem level and never on the solution level. So it's a constant warfare, or a dominance, a war to see who is more powerful, who can out yell the other one, or who can out control the other one, and even to the point of becoming passive aggressive, so that the child deliberately doesn't do what the parent wants them to do. Then the parent comes in for a conference with the teacher, and the teacher is pulling her hair out, and she's upset because things aren't working out, but the parents are pulling their hair out too because they don't know what to do. So where is the solution? Nobody has the solution. So it sounds like the inner space, getting the child having that kind of inner space that's solution focused and full of life and love and energy and vitality, and the parent sharing that with the child, makes the perfect world. So let's create it.
What happens is, for example, the curriculum. See, the curriculum is designed by Swami in such a way that it's so creative oriented, how much we can make the kids more explore. So what happens, the kid comes from a regular school, and they are like just able to get a grade, or just bare minimum in their maths or science and all that. So the parents are so upset, why my child is left behind, why it is like that, and they are so upset, and they push the kid into forcing them to go to tuition or some person and learn all these things, or they come and shout at the kids because they have to spend extra time with the kid, which is kid doesn't know how to do it, nor the parent know how to teach. So what happens? A mess, chaos there. So what we do is, we do a right brain education where it is more of a creative learning. So it's all through visualization and through nice songs, dance, music, theater, art, different dimension that we can bring, games. So what happens is, doing through all this, we give the message to the subconscious. Again, we don't teach the mind. If you try to teach them to rote learn something, you can only hold it for some time. But if you can visualize, it goes to your permanent storage. And we have the quantum memory techniques where we need to learn things in a particular days. And if you follow those days, it just goes to your permanent memory, and the whole thing is solved. And the problem we are facing, another problem is, for example, math, we give them a solid foundation. Swami says the first few years is a knowledge time. And then we have the understanding time. All the subject need to be in understanding phase for the primary, and then applying stage for the secondary. But in the math, it is followed like that. For example, we deal with the numbers, number names and everything, and then we go to addition, subtraction in the primary, and then the trigonometry, algebra in the secondary. It's beautifully structured. But what about science? What about social? What about history? Everything is chaotic. So we have taken all the curriculum and placed it in Swami's, what he has told us, so that it has come in a beautiful package that they'll have more time to work with each concept for many years. The whole of primary, 6 years is spent on understanding the whole concept as a big picture. What they do in a school is they give a small picture and ask us to learn. And it's so difficult to learn that small thing, and because we are being born and brought up to look at big picture of everything. So we start from the bigger picture, what is physics, and then go into different dimension of physics and attach it where it should be attached. So for example, they learn the whole thing as a whole every year and making it more and more complicated so that they understand the whole thing. And it's surprising, we had the parent come for a day in the school and he was so shocked. He said, in my school I used to sit and wait for the teachers to go out. Here the kids are waiting for the teachers to tell more things. What is happening here? And we did a test for the kids, that we did a science Olympiad test is famous in India. So we did a test, a 3rd grade level test for the kindergarten kids. And they are coming with amazing results because they are participating, the attention is amazingly high. They are in complete settled awareness. A happy child is a smart child. So any kids come to our school will be a topper. Actually, we said genius. Topper is only for a competitive school. Every kid is a genius. That's why Swami says enlightened genius, because everybody has the potential. If they could learn 250 ships of data for one person, they can just learn this 20-page book in a day. It's quite possible, but we have forgotten the science and we keep blaming the kids. They are not able to learn. The parent is upset, the kid is upset, the whole system is going for a toss. So fixing this curriculum has given a big relief that all my kids are actually better than any other school kid. So they are more happy with the kid, and also they're coming up with such a satisfaction and creativity and their performance back home every day. So the parents are so happy to see somebody coming with a positive thing to them. So there is absolutely, they say, oh, parent choice kid, they will be like this. So everything is falling into place because the curriculum, the foundation, the understanding has gone deep into what every piece of the puzzle.
So when you talk about the different forms of intelligence with children, do you feel like you're focusing on more than one form of intelligence?
Yes, see, normally we people are actually multidimensional, and we are good in one intelligence. One person will be an introvert, one person will be an extrovert, and it's perfectly fine how we are dealing with the understanding. So we give this knowledge, the tools, in the understanding of how the teacher can teach. See, one teacher is able to sing more and teach. One teacher is able to draw more pictures and teach. One is able to dramatize. Like that, if the teachers come out their dimension and the kids, each one will be in their dimension, they catch one of the teachers and they start flourishing. How you learn doesn't matter. How you use the tool. You can use this spanner in different thing with wood or making some art and craft. You can use it for different purpose. So that is where we give the idea. And so they become dynamically intelligent. Otherwise, they'll be focused only on a written method, writing essays and doing a presentation and becoming a professional in a office or where they can do presentation. But creativity, they'll be lost.
So we're really talking about the student having social intelligence and emotional intelligence and academic intelligence, problem-solving intelligence, interrelationship intelligence, and goal setting, and of course living within an inner space that is peaceful and silent and fulfilled.
Yeah, we call this different stages. We call this an IQ level. That is the basic level, how they score the marks. Then EQ level, where they just balance themselves. But we take them to a SQ level, where suppose a child is crying. Initially, they learn how to cry, for some time, and then get back to their space and all that. But then in SQ, we teach them how to understand so that you don't have to cry. If there is no problem, you don't have to cry. So we teach them an SQ component where we raise them that their inner space is not disturbed at all. Then we move them to the WQ level, holistic quotient, where they can be at ease with everything, that they will settle into a different dimension. Swami has been teaching us these things, the ESP, telekinesthetic, clairvoyance, mass storage, all these are possible for all of us, just like breathing, just like seeing, just like tasting. It's just the right brain way of senses. Right brain understands the senses as telekinesthetic, telepathy. But we have forgotten, we have no idea that they exist because nobody is teaching them. So we have a system where we have a right brain class, and kids enjoy that. They have to guess things. They have to just go and find things where they feel things. So these games make them understand there is a different dimension of them, and we are working towards that. Swami says all the Indigo kids, here we are going to start an Indigo school, the world's first Indigo kid. Indigo kids live in this space. We just gone below. We just want to raise the other kids to the same level that all of us will be an Indigo kid. So telepathy is just a piece of cake, like breathing or seeing other person. It's just like that. So we have so much fun in that game. The kids wait for the class and they ask, we have an art dimension. Even in that we have dimensions again. We have an art, we have an yoga, we have a lot of things which we do as a brain yoga. So it relates to all this. So we raise them to a WQ level. And so at home they play these games and the parents are like, oh, what's my kid doing? And what the powers they have. So they are so excited. Swami says we have different things. Then Swamiji, of course, is in quantum quotient, where he can download anything from anywhere. See, the pineal gland is completely same thing as our eyes. It's made of rods and cones. So it's actually functioning, but by 8 years, it shuts down. It shuts down and start decay because the other hormones and chemicals are being fired. So the pituitary gland and thyroid gland, everything starts functioning. The pineal glands decay. So the whole dimension of WQ decays. The WQ of telekinesthetic, that is closing your eyes and seeing with your pineal gland, technically, the third eye, they call it. So those things are completely shut down. Swami says till 14 years, the Kundalini power, these telekinesthetic power should be alive. The pineal gland, as per our yoga, should be alive. The pituitary gland, if it starts secreting all these chemicals, then the whole concept is lost. And all the media, TV, television, any form of even email, Swami says, please don't show kids. If you show kids, then you're shutting down the pineal. You're shutting down the possibility that is already existing in these kids and saying, then why are they not functioning? This is the possibility which is available. The television, Swami calls it an idiot box, and we say in our school, if you're watching, if you're more idiot than an idiot box, you can watch it. So it's the kids never go near these boxes. And they completely understand, oh my God, this is like going to spoil my inner space and I'm going to be less smart. So I don't need this dimension. They clearly throw it out. We have the ingenious kids, and so many have given testimonials that the parents are seeing the kids are not watching anymore of the violent movies, because the subconscious mind records everything. And recording everything, it just spoils the whole inner space. And it shuts down.
So what we're doing, unfortunately, in the Western world is reinforcing shutting down the pineal gland, which is responsible for superpowers and the ability to intuit reality and to teleport and to do these amazing powers. We're shutting it down completely and deliberately by encouraging our children to watch TV 8 hours. What we're saying now is that parents and teachers and students are all basically practicing shutting their system down as opposed to awakening their system, and that we can choose whether we practice expanding our inner space and creating vital health and agelessness and creating superpowers within the physiology, or whether we close down the system and shut it down to a place of complete annihilation and disease and disharmony. So the decision is ours. What do we want to do with our society, with our children, with our consciousness?